Okay. Welcome to yoga. Nice to see you all. Oh, I know what I need to do. Just need to change the view so I can see everybody. There we are. Okay. So, well, the word that I chose this week from my little book was, what was it? Cultivate. So I thought, cultivate what? So I thought about cultivating inner strength and resilience, which I thought would be a useful thing at the moment for us to cultivate. So the class is going to be, that's what the class theme is, cultivating inner strength and resilience. So we'll start with our usual settling and chanting. So just making sure that you're sitting nice and tall. Your legs are comfortable, either crossed or out straight. Just sitting however you feel most comfortable. And just place your hand on the top of your head. And don't push your hand into your head, but lift your head into your hand, into your palm, so that you can feel that feeling of lengthening in the spine, just lifting up. And then take your hand down and keep that feeling of lifting up. Just allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears. And start to soften the skin on your face. Maybe close your eyes gently, softening your eyes. Softening your cheeks. Softening your lips. Softening your shoulders and your arms, your fingers. Allowing your legs to support your body. And notice that triangle of support at the base. Focusing on your breath. Just noticing your breath this morning and how your breath feels. Does the breath feel smooth and even? Or does it feel rough and jagged? Just notice. Is the breath short or is it long? Is the in-breath the same length as the out-breath? And then taking your awareness to your abdomen, allowing the abdomen to expand as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, allowing the abdomen to contract back towards the spine. Placing your hands into Chin Mudra, either with the backs of the hands on the knees or the palms on the knees, up to you, your choice. And the tip of the index finger touching the tip of the thumb, the other three fingers just resting out. And we'll chant the mantra Om together 3 times, taking your first breath in. Just folding the three fingers in towards the palm, taking your awareness up to your heart center. Bringing to mind all the people you know that are suffering at the moment. Thinking of the whole world, holding the whole planet in your thoughts, in your heart. While we chant 7 rounds of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra for health, healing, and the relief of suffering. Taking a breath in. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrijo Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrijo Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrijo Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrijo Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrijo Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrijo Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrijo Mukshiyamamritat. And placing the back of one hand in the lap, back of the other hand in the palm, taking your awareness to your eyebrow center and visualizing a point of light, maybe a candle flame burning brightly. And from that point of light, we'll chant 7 rounds of the Gayatri mantra for wisdom, truth, and understanding. Taking a breath in. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavita Vareniyam Bhargadavasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavita Vareniyam Bhargadavasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavita Vareniyam Bhargadavasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavita Vareniyam Bhargadavasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavita Vareniyam Bhagodavasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavita Vareniyam Bhagodavasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavita Vareniyam Bhagodavasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. And then very quietly come down to lay in Shavasana on your backs. And checking that your whole body is in a straight line. So a straight line from the crown of your head all the way down, going through the middle of your body, down past your legs and to a point between your heels. Checking that your shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. Your arms are gently by the side of your body with a little bit of space between the arms and the sides of the body. And space between your legs and your feet. And the feet falling out sideways. Becoming aware of your breath. Going to work with the Ujjayi breath this morning. So just being aware of the breath entering and leaving your body. Notice everything you can about your breath, how it feels. And just notice whether the two parts of the breath are the same length. Notice where your breath is going in your body. Is it going into your chest or your abdomen? And start to notice the sound of the breath. Almost as if you could close the little bit of your throat at the back of the throat to make a little soft sound like a baby snoring. So that you can hear the breath. Just gently breathing in and out, listening to the sound of the breath. It's almost as though you're breathing and huffing into a mirror, making that sound with the breath. Just checking that the breath is the same length on the in-breath and the out-breath. Maybe count the number it takes to breathe in, count the number it takes to breathe out, just making sure that both numbers are the same. And at the same time, listening to the sound of the breath. And then letting go of the breath awareness. On your next inhalation, you're going to take your arms up and over to the floor behind you. So on the next inhalation, taking your arms up to the floor behind you, holding the breath in for a moment while you stretch through fingers to toes. And then when you need to breathe out, returning the arms to the sides of the body, releasing the stretch. And working twice more. And then bending your knees, placing the soles of your feet near to your buttocks. Your palms facing downwards. And as you breathe in the next time, you're just going to bring your shoulders up towards your ears, just sliding your shoulders up towards your ears as you breathe in. So just sliding your shoulders along the mat. So you're not lifting your shoulders, you're just sliding them along the mat up towards your ears. And then holding the breath for a moment. And then when you breathe out, sliding your arms and your fingertips towards your heels. So as you inhale, you're sliding your arms and your shoulders up towards your ears. Holding the breath inside for a moment. And then exhaling, sliding your arms and your fingertips towards your heels as you breathe out. Just working twice more. It's very gentle movement, sliding your shoulders away from your ears on the out breath and sliding your shoulders up towards your ears on your in breath. And then very gently on the next exhalation, you're just going to gently roll your head to the right so that your face is looking towards the right. Hold the breath out for a moment. And then inhale back to the center. Very gentle movements. Exhaling, gently rolling your head to the left. Hold the breath out for a moment. And then gently rolling back to the center. And then repeating twice more. Exhaling, rolling the head to the side. And inhaling, gently rolling back to the center. So we're preparing for working with Surya Pushpam, the sunflower pose, but we're going to work with a variation. So instead of taking your arms up and over to the floor behind you, you're going to take your palms to your heart center first. You're taking your palms to your heart center. And then as you breathe in, so your palms together, so your palms touching each other. And then as you breathe in, you're going to raise your arms up towards the ceiling and then open them wide out to the side. At the same time, opening your knees wide. So your arms and your knees are going out to the side. On the in-breath, hold the breath in for a moment. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your knees back together, your palms back together and back to your heart space. You're bringing your palms back in towards your heart space at the end of the exhalation. So inhaling, your arms up towards the ceiling, at the same time opening your knees wide, taking your arms out to the side. Hold the breath in for a moment and then exhaling, bringing your knees together, palms back together, and then palms back to your heart space. We're working 3 more rounds. And as you're opening and closing, just thinking of being open to all possibilities. That you have an open mind to all possibilities. Noticing when the soles of your feet touch together. Noticing when your arms reach the sides. And then working one final round, and this time holding the open position for 5 nice, easy, natural breaths. You can notice your breath in your throat if you feel like practicing the Ujjayi breath with it. Just feeling that openness to all possibilities. Opening your mind to all possibilities. Noticing how the body feels, how the mind feels. Focusing on those thoughts, being open to all possibilities. Accepting changes. And then when you've completed the practice, sliding your heels away from you. And just placing your arms at the sides of the body. noticing how your body feels. Notice any thoughts popping into your mind. Notice any sensations in the body. Then bringing your knees up towards your chest, taking hold of your knees gently, and then rocking gently from side to side. Taking your knees in circles. And then opening your knees and circling your knees in independently. Go in the opposite direction. And then placing one foot down on the mat and then the other foot down. And then coming up to a comfortable sitting position. So you're going to be sitting with your legs outstretched. So sitting so that you're sitting on your sitting bones. So make sure you've got the fleshy parts pulled back and you can sit nice and straight. So you're just going to have your toes pointing upwards. Make sure that your spine is nice and straight. And you're just going to slide forward and back, just sliding your hands down, very gently sliding your hands forward and then back, gradually inching forward a little bit further each time you fold forward. Just a very gentle movement. Don't strain. Don't go too far back or too far forward. Just notice how your body feels. Feel that inner wisdom that knows exactly what your body needs and how it feels. And then bending your knees, bringing your soles of your feet together. And lifting up out of the pelvis so that you can bring your chest forward. Maybe holding on to your toes or your feet. So, and then just staying there for a few breaths, maybe rocking your knees up and down. Just very gently. Focusing on your breath. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. And then bring your knees back together and slide your knees away from you. So again, lifting up out of the pelvis. You're just going to place the right hand behind you and the left hand at the side. And as you lift up, you're breathing into and lifting up out of making some space in the spine, and then just making sure that your toes are pointing upwards, and be aware of your toes and make sure your feet don't move. So the tendency is when you're twisting, your one leg that left leg might go forward. I don't know if you can see. So I'll turn this way. So when you're twisting to the right, so you've got your right hand behind you and the left hand on the floor at the side. When you twist, just make sure that that foot doesn't slide forward so that you keep your feet in line. And as you exhale, you're turning to look over your right shoulder. But just be aware of those feet. Make sure those feet stay where they stay together and don't slide. So the left foot might tend to slide, so just be aware of that. And just stay there for a few breaths. You're exhaling as you twist, being aware of your feet, staying at the same point with your toes pointing upwards. And then exhaling, coming back to the center. Just notice how your body feels. And then going to the other side. So you're taking your left hand behind your left buttocks, your right hand on the floor, lift up, make sure your toes are pointing upwards and keep your feet in the same position. As you slowly exhale, taking your tummy first and then your chest, looking over your left shoulder. Just stay there for a few breaths. And then exhaling, coming back to the center. So working on the right side again. So this time, as you take your hand behind you and your left hand to the side, as you twist, you're just going to take your body, see if you can keep your buttocks on the floor, but you're going to come down, just reaching your nose down towards the mat a little. Don't strain. Make sure you can keep both of your buttocks on the floor. So you're twisting to the right, just taking your nose towards the floor, keeping your spine straight, and then coming back on an inhalation. Make sure you don't strain. And then from the other side, turning to the left, your left hand behind the left buttocks, right hand on the floor. So your fingertips pointing away from you. Lifting up, make sure you've got a straight spine. Take care of those heels, make sure those toes are pointing upwards. Exhaling as you turn to the left, and then take your nose, keeping your spine straight, take your nose towards the floor. And make sure you keep your buttocks on the floor. Be aware of keeping the buttocks on the floor and the spine straight. And then coming back on an inhalation. So working one more round on each side. So when you take your nose towards the floor, you're not bending your head towards the floor. You're keeping your spine straight so that your head and your spine are in a straight line. So you're taking your nose towards the floor, but you're keeping your head and spine in a straight line. Keeping your buttocks on the floor. Make sure you keep your feet in the same position. Lifting up out of the pelvis before you twist. You're And then when you've completed the practice, laying down in Shavasana, just allowing your body to rest, noticing any sensations. Just allowing any muscles to let go. Notice your shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Notice the spine. Notice your buttocks, the legs, the feet. And then drawing your knees up towards your chest and rocking yourselves up to sitting. So we're going to work with the cosmic egg. So drawing your feet up towards your body. So your thighs are coming towards your body. And you're just going to wrap your arms around your knees and place your forehead on your knees. Just breathe easily. Notice your breath. Notice the Ujjayi breath. Just gently breathing. And focus on an inner seed of strength growing inside. The seed of strength growing inside. Strength. Beginning to sprout. And then letting go of that practice, bringing your feet together again, the soles of your feet together again. And then just lifting up one leg. So taking hold of the big toe maybe, and lifting up one leg, replacing it, lifting up the other leg. So try that a few times, inhaling as you lift the leg, exhaling as you lower. And then if you haven't got anything behind you, so make sure that you're safe. If you feel that you can, or you might want to put your knees together and come into the balance here. And then if you feel safe, you can raise your legs, but only if you feel safe. So it might be that if you keep your feet together and raise one foot, you keep your knees together and have your hands underneath your thighs, and then raise your legs. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. So whichever variation feels right for you. So you can either do it with your raising and lowering each leg with your knees apart, or keep your knees together and place your hands under your thighs and raise one foot and then the other foot, and then find the balance and raise both legs. Make sure you've got nothing behind you that you're going to hit your head on if you fall backwards. And then coming back into Shavasana. Bringing your feet up or bringing your knees up towards your chest, however you feel that it would be your body needs. So you can either have your feet on the floor and just rest, or bring your knees up and give yourselves a rock. Just whatever feels good. And then rocking yourselves back up to sitting. So going to work with rocking the baby. So you're going to bring your right knee up towards your chest and then just take hold of your foot and cradle your leg in your hands or your arms. Make sure that you don't strain. If this doesn't feel right for you, then just visualize it. So you're just going to rock almost like you're rocking a baby in your arms. Keep your left toes pointing upwards. Make sure your spine is nice and straight. So sitting up nice and straight with your spine. And while you're rocking, just feel the love and care inside. You almost feel as though you're rocking your inner baby. So you're rocking so that you're rocking your hip. So you're not rocking your knee or your ankle, you're rocking your hip. You've got the whole of your leg in your arms and you're rocking it backwards and forwards. It's very gently. And then place that foot down, sole of the foot down on the floor and slide the heel away from you. And just notice the difference between the right and the left side of the body. Again, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And then draw the left knee in towards the chest. And then take hold of the foot, wherever it's comfortable. It doesn't really matter where you hold onto it. And cradle your leg in your arms, and then gently rock your leg and feel that the hip it's a hip opening. Make sure your right toes are pointing upwards. And again, feel that inner baby that you're cradling and caressing, nurturing that inner baby. Feel that love deep inside. And then place that foot down on the floor and slide the heel away. And then coming up to standing. So just checking that your feet are just a little bit apart, just about hip distance apart. Make sure your knees are nice and soft and your buttocks just a little bit tucked in, the navel towards the spine, lengthening in the spine, shoulders away from the ears, and the crown of the head reaching up towards the space above you. Just have your arms gently at the sides of the body. Notice the breath. So on the inhalation, you're going to raise your arms up And then come up onto your toes and really reach up with your fingertips. And then exhaling, bringing your arms down first and then coming down on with your heels. So keeping your arms nice and soft, you're not really stretching the arms because we don't want the shoulders to scrunch up, but we want the sides of the body to lengthen. So you're inhaling, nice soft arms, coming up onto your toes, really lengthening the sides of the body. And then exhaling your arms down first and then your heels down. So 3 more times, inhaling your arms up with nice soft arms, coming up onto your toes, holding the breath in for a moment, and then exhaling your arms down. When your arms are down, bring your heels down. And then opening your feet a little wider, just a little wider, not too wide. And you're going to roll down, so you're going to take your chin down to your throat, round your shoulders, round your spine, slide your hands all the way down your legs as you go, softening your knees, bending your knees as much as you need to, letting your head go. When you get down to the floor, check where your nose is pointing. Make sure your nose is pointing towards your thighs. And just stay there for a few breaths, allowing your whole body to be soft and limp like a rag doll. And then when you're ready to come up, coming up on an inhalation, slowly sliding your hands up your legs, keeping your chin tucked in, taking your weight into your heels as you come up, and then your chin coming up last of all. And then working twice more. Opening your legs nice and wide, nice wide stance. We're going to work with the Warrior Two pose. So you're going to turn your right toes towards the top of the mat. Take your arms out to the side. Keep your hips facing forward. And you might want to just turn the left toes in a little. Just make sure that they feel comfortable. So your hips are forward and your right toes pointing towards the top of the mat. Arms out to the side. Bend your right knee. So bend your right knee and make sure that the right knee is in line with the ankle. We don't want the knee over like this because that's going to put too much pressure on your knee. So if you need to adjust your feet, do so. And then look towards your middle right finger, really reaching your arms out to the side. Stay there, breathing easily. Notice that left leg nice and strong. Really feel the edge of the left foot. Make sure your knee hasn't come forward. Make sure your knee is in line with your toes. And then when you're ready, coming down, turning your toes in, heel toeing your feet back together. And just notice how your body feels. Okay, a nice wide stance, opening your legs nice and wide. You're working on the left side this time. So turning your left toes out towards the top of the mat, keeping your hips in line. Arms out to the side. Bend the left knee. Really reach out with your fingertips. Look towards the left middle finger. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Your right leg is nice and strong and you can feel the right side, the right outer edge of your right foot. Make sure your knee is in line with your ankle. Take 5 nice easy breaths. Focus on energy and strength. This is a nice strong warrior pose. And then when you're ready, bringing your toes to the front, heel toeing your feet back together. Just noticing how your body feels. Notice your breath. You take your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then your left ear towards your left shoulder. You feel the stretch in the side of the neck. Inhaling to the side. Inhaling right ear to right, exhaling right ear to right shoulder. Inhaling back to the center. And exhaling left ear towards the left shoulder. And inhaling back to the center. So we're going to repeat the warrior pose now. So legs nice and wide. And repeating to the right, once to the right and once to the left once more. So turning your right toes out, arms out to the side, bending your right knee and looking towards the right fingertips. Taking 5 easy breaths. Focusing on strength. Focus on that inner strength, the strength inside. Really reaching your fingertips out towards the side walls. And then when you've taken your 5 breaths, heel toeing your feet back together. Noticing your body. And then working on the left side. Nice wide stance. Turning the left toes out towards the top of the mat. Keeping your hips facing forward. Bending the left knee. Make sure the knee's in line with the ankle. Really reach the fingertips out towards the side walls. Look over at the left middle finger. Holding for 5 easy breaths. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. And feel that energy and strength inside you. And then coming down, heel toeing your feet back together. Just noticing how your body is. And then come to lay down on your backs. So bending your knees and placing the soles of your feet near to your buttocks. And your feet and knees need just to be parallel. So that's it. So your knees and your feet not quite together. And so we're going to work with the shoulder bow pose. So as you inhale, just press the small of your back into the mat and tip the pelvis up a little. So you're just inhaling, pressing the small of the back into the mat, allowing the pelvis to tilt, and then releasing as you exhale. Inhaling, pressing the small of the back into the mat, tipping the pelvis, exhaling, releasing. Just make sure your chin's tucked in. On the next inhalation, pressing the small of the back into the mat, and then float the hips up high. Keeping the chin tucked in. And then on the exhalation, rolling the spine back down from the top to the bottom, 1 vertebra at a time. Exhaling very gently, bringing the spine down 1 vertebra at a time, from the top to the bottom. So working 3 more times. Inhaling, pressing the small of the back into the mat, tipping the pelvis, and then floating the hips up high. Keep the knees parallel. Don't let the knees float out to the side. And then exhaling, releasing the spine down from the top, 1 vertebra at a time, very slowly down. Hips come down last of all. And then working one final round, holding the position for up to 5 breaths. Keeping your chins tucked in. When you've completed the practice, opening your feet as wide as the mat. So your feet, placing your feet at the edges of the mat and your arms out to the side. And as you exhale, you're going to take your knees over to the right. So your left knee will come towards your right ankle. And if it feels okay, looking in the opposite direction. So turning your head in the opposite direction if it feels okay. Stay there for a few breaths. And then come back to the center on an inhalation. Taking your legs over to the left on an exhalation. And staying there for a few breaths. Coming back to the center on an inhalation. And working to further round, staying in the side stretch for a few breaths. Just allowing the body to let go into the position. And then when you've completed the practice, coming up to a comfortable sitting position. So I'm going to work with the Brahmari pranayama this morning. And just remind you, it's when you place your fingers and close off your ears, so your elbows are nice and wide, and you're humming the breath out. It'll be a little bit like this. So you'll be working 15 breaths like that, humming the breath out. So we'll just start with settling the body first and then go into the 15 breaths when you're ready. So we'll just make sure you're sitting up nice and straight. And you can feel your sitting bones grounding into the earth. Make sure the spine is lengthened, shoulders are relaxed, crown of the head lifting to the space above you. And gently close your eyes, softening the skin on your face. Soften the eyes, soften the cheeks, softening your lips and your jaw. Softening your shoulders, your arms and your fingers. Softening the trunk and the legs. And just starting to notice your breath. Just allowing the breath to enter through your nostrils as you breathe in. And allow the breath to come out through your nostrils as you breathe out. Noticing the breath. And when you're ready, starting your 15 rounds of Bhramari breath, closing off your little lobes of your ears. Make sure your elbows are nice and wide so you've got a nice open chest. And humming the breath out. When you've completed the practice, stay with your eyes closed and notice the sensations in your mind. Noticing any sensations in the mind as a result of the practice. keeping your eyes gently closed. Notice the vibrations. And then without disturbing yourselves too much, wrapping yourselves up, coming down to lay in Shavasana, ready for Yoga Nidra practice. So checking that the body is in a straight line. Chin tucked in, back of the neck nice and long. The shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Your arms a little bit away from the sides of the body with the backs of the hands in contact with the floor. And the legs and feet slightly apart. And allow the feet to fall out sideways. Just allow the whole body to soften into the floor. And imagine that line of your body from the crown of the head all the way down through the trunk of the body, down to a point between the heels. Notice the contact points of the body on the floor. Notice all the parts of the body in contact with the floor. The back of the head, the shoulders. Notice all the parts of the back that are in contact with the floor. Some parts are in contact with the floor and some aren't. Notice the buttocks in contact with the floor. The parts of the backs of the legs that are in contact with the floor. The heels. Notice all the parts of the body that is not in contact with the floor, where the space is between the body and the floor. Notice the spaces between the back of the neck, space underneath the back, space under the back of the knees, the space between the ankles and the floor. Notice the contact of your body on the floor, the contact of your clothes on your skin, your covers. Notice the weight of the covers. Notice the air on any uncovered skin, maybe on your face. And be aware of any sounds you can hear. Notice any sounds inside your room. Notice any sounds outside your room. See if you can identify a sound the furthest away. Don't just become involved in that sound, just notice it. Notice the furthest sound you can hear. See if your hearing can operate like a radar beam. searching out the furthest sound you can hear. And now is the time to make your resolve, your Sankalpa. So state your Sankalpa silently to yourself 3 times with faith and feeling. And now we're going to go on a journey around the body, and as each part of the body is named, gently focus on that part of the body and maybe say the name of that part of the body to yourself. So first of all, focusing on the right hand thumb, the right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, armpit, side, waist, hip, thigh, right kneecap, back of the knee, shin, calf muscle, ankle, heel, top of the foot, sole of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe, the whole of the right side of the body. Be aware of the left hand thumb, the second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, side, waist, hip, thigh, left kneecap, back of the knee, shin, calf muscle, ankle, heel, top of the foot, sole of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe, the whole of the left side of the body. Become aware of the right buttock and the left buttock, the whole length of the spine, the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, the back of the neck, back of the head, the crown of the head, the forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the eyebrow center, the right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, tip of the nose, right cheek, left cheek, right ear, left ear, top lip, bottom lip, the place where the lips meet, the chin, the throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, the center of the chest, navel, the abdomen, and the groin. Be aware of the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole of the back of the body, the whole of the front of the body, the whole body, the whole body, the whole body. Be aware of the whole body lying completely still in Shavasana, apart from the gentle movement of the breath. Be aware of that gentle movement of the breath. The breath flowing naturally and easily in and out of the body. Just be aware of the breath and that space. Notice that space outside of the closed eyes, the space beyond the closed eyes, that inner space. Just concentrate on that space in front of the closed eyes, the space called the Chittakash. Just imagine a blackboard in that space, a blackboard and some chalks. Just imagine taking one of those pieces of chalk and writing the numbers 1 to 10 on the blackboard. Just writing the numbers 1 to 10 with the chalk on the blackboard. Just write the numbers. And then when you've written the numbers 1 to 10 on the blackboard, just get the cloth and rub those numbers out. And then write the word strong. Write the letter S, the letter T, the letter R, the letter O, the letter N, and the letter G. And then when you've written that word strong, just rub it out. And then with the chalk, write the word wise. Write the word wise, the W, the I and the dot, the S and the E. When you've written that word wise, just rub it out with the cloth and then write the numbers 11 to 20 on the blackboard. Just write the numbers 11 to 20, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then just rub those numbers out with the cloth. Just be detached from those numbers and those words. Just focus on that darkness in that space in front of the closed eyes. Just focusing on that space and the awareness of that space. And then letting that go and bringing back to mind your sankalpa, your resolve. Bringing back to mind your resolve that you made at the beginning of the practice. Stating it 3 times with faith and feeling. I am contented, I smile, because the sounds, the colours, the feelings that I hear with my ears, that I see with my eyes, that I experience with my heart, will exist even when my ears, my eyes, my heart are no more. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. And taking your awareness down to the soles of your feet, start to make some small movements with the soles of your feet and stretch your legs, bringing your awareness to your hands and your fingers, and start to make some small movements with your fingers and your hands. Being aware of the room around you, being aware of the sounds outside, the sounds in your room. Just making any movements that your body needs to make. And then when you're ready, keeping your eyes softly closed, bringing your knees up towards your chest and rolling over to your right side. And then coming up to a comfortable sitting position. And we'll finish the class by chanting the mantra Om 3 times together. Taking a breath in. And rubbing your hands briskly together to create some heat in the palms. Then placing your warm palms over your closed eyelids. Opening your eyes into the darkness and allowing chinks of light to come in through your fingertips. And then drawing your hands down to your laps when you're ready. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for joining me today. And we say Namaste. Namaste, my friends, everybody.